Then we are moving on to strategy definition, right? What do you mean by strategy definition? So let's have a look at that. The definition of strategy is driven by the objectives and vision referred to in the previous sections. Now we talked earlier in previous sections about the strategic objectives. We talked about the strategic vision, right? Then strategy definition is actually a result of these things. අපේ organization එකේ vision එක, අපේ organization එකේ අරමුණු මත පදනම් වෙලා හැදෙන දෙයක් තමා මේ උපාය ක්‍රම නිර්වචනය. එහෙම නැත්නම් strategy definition කියන දේ. Right? It's a direct result of and is driven by the objectives and vision. Then, as strategies are formulated based on vision and objectives, it is necessary to frequently revisit and revise them. So, since these strategies are based upon an organization's vision and objectives, right? Therefore, there may be certain changes that you have to do. Then, අපි vision එක සහ objectives එක මත පදනම් වෙලානේ strategies හදන්නේ. ඒතර මේ දේවල් වල වෙනස්කමක් වෙනකොට අපිට නැවත වතාවක් මේ strategies වලට revisit කරලා ඒවා revise වෙන්න පුළුවන් නේ. දැන් අපි strategy එකක් හැදුවාම ඒක නොවෙනස්ව හැමදාම ඒ විදිහටම තියනවා කියලා දෙයක් නැහැනේ නේ. දැන් උදාහරණයකට මුල ඉඳන්ම ගත්තොත් strategy process එකේ environment analysis එකේ මොකක් හරි වෙනසක් වෙන්න පුළුවන් නේ. අද තියෙන situation එක නෙමෙයි හෙට වෙන්න පුළුවන්. right? So environment analysis එකේ වෙනසක් වුණාම අනිවාර්යෙන් අපේ goals වෙනස් වෙනවා. අපේ objectives වෙනස් වෙනවා. අනිවාර්යෙන්ම එතකොට අපේ strategic approach එක වෙනස් වෙනවා නේ. ඒකින්ද තමයි කියන්නේ frequently you have to revisit and revise. Maybe today the market is okay, but in a week or so there's a huge collapse in the stock market. It's already happening, right? There is a huge issue in the exchange rate fluctuations, right? And there are issues with related to country completely closing down. There are no travel permits within districts, within provinces, right? Let's say if your organization is based on international business, or let's say if your organization is based on a lot of imports, then what is going to happen if today the market is okay, but tomorrow the government shuts down all incoming flights from any kind of country? Then entirely, once again, your strategy process will have to change, right? So based on that, your goals will change and you will have to come up with a new strategy definition. That's why you say you have to frequently revisit and revise them, right? In this section, the key strategic decisions faced by a management team developing e-business strategy are reviewed. So what are we going to look at in this particular section? The key strategic decisions faced by a management team developing an e-business strategy. E-business strategy එකක් හදන management team එකක් face කරන එන්නත යාලට මුහුණ දෙන්න වෙන ප්‍රධානම උපාය මාර්ගික තීරණ strategic decisions කීපයක් මත පදනම් වෙලා තමයි මේ section එකේ අපි discussion එක base වෙන්නේ, right? For each of these areas of strategy definition that we cover, managers will want to generate different options, right? Review them and select them as shown in figure 5.17. So when it comes to strategy definition includes three important elements. What are those elements? You have to generate strategic options, right? You have to review them or you have to evaluate them and you have to select those suitable ones, right? So the next figure talks about this in detail. So we start by considering the sell-side related aspects of e-business and then review the buy-side related aspects. So first, an evaluation will be done or consideration will be given to the sell-side aspect of the business, where the business interacts with the customers, the consumers, right? And then buy side related aspects, the upstream supply chain of the organization. Right. So moving on, like I told, strategy definition, you have option generation element, and then option should be evaluated, options should be selected. Now, if we consider the earlier objective of increasing our online revenue by 20% within the first 6 months of year 2022, then what is the strategy to achieve that objective? A objective එක achieve කරගන්න අපි company එකක් විදියට භාවිතා කරන strategy එක මොකක්ද? දැන් ඒ stage එකට ආවම company එකට අවස්ථා තුනක් තියෙනවා. එක, there might be several ways to achieve that objective. So different options have to be listed out. මේ objective එක achieve කරගන්න අපිට තියෙන විවිධ strategic options මොනවාද? කොයි මාර්ග වලින්ද අපිට මේ online revenue එක 20% දක්වා වර්ධනය කරගන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ එන මාස 6 ඇතුළතදී. Right? Those options you have to generate. Then you have to evaluate. මේ options review කරන්න ඕනේ, evaluate කරන්න ඕනේ. After evaluating, you select then what is the most effective and efficient strategy that we have to select in order to achieve our set business objective in the most efficient and effective manner, right? Okay, so under the strategy definition stage, we talk about 8 key decisions in this chapter, right? Strategy definition stage එකට ආවහම සාමාන්‍යයෙන් business එකක් consider කරන ප්‍රධානම දේවල් 8ක් පිළිබඳව මෙතෙන්දී අපි කතා කරනවා. Right? ඕනෑම manager කෙනෙක්ට e-business strategy එක එයා develop කරගෙන යද්දි මේ strategy definition stage එකට ආවම මේ කියන key decisions 8, right? බොහෝ විට go through කරන්න සිද්ධ වෙන්න පුළුවන්. When you're coming up with a new strategic definition, it's most likely that you have to make these key 8 decisions. We don't say that definitely all organizations make these 8 decisions, but here we have listed out very commonly observed key decisions, right? Digital business channel priorities, market and product development, positioning and differentiation strategies, business and revenue models, marketplace restructuring, supply chain management capabilities, internal knowledge management capabilities, and organizational resourcing and capabilities. So we will detail out each of these stages going forward, right? Okay, so first let's look at the channel priorities, digital business channel priorities, right? The e-business strategy must be directed according to the priority of different strategic objectives as in table 5.6. දැන් අපි table 5.6 එකේදී බැලුවනේ විවිධ strategic objectives තියෙන්න පුළුවන්, විවිධ strategic goals තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒවා අපි prioritize කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා. එතකොට ඔය අපි select කරපු priorities අනුව තමයි අපේ e-business strategy එක ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන්න ඕනේ. E-business strategy should be operationalized, or it should be implemented based on the priorities that we identified related to the objectives that we set at the initial stage. Then the second point says, if the priorities are for the sell side downstream channel, right? If these priorities that now, for example, we talked about 6 different goals there. No? The first 3 were related to the sell side, second 3 were related to the buy side. So if we think our priority should be on the sell side objectives, that is our downstream supply channel, right? As our objectives 1 to 3 in table 5.6, then the strategy must be to direct resources at these objectives. It's obvious, right? It's self-explanatory. If our priorities are them, then obviously our resources should be concentrated around the priorities. Then the third point says, for a B2B company that is not well known in its marketplace worldwide, right? If we assume that these strategies are made by a business to business context organization that is also not that popular in the worldwide market, but there has some digital presence, and also cannot offer products to new markets. They are not in a position to come up with new products to to come up with products to offer to new markets, right? Let's assume there's a company like that. Then in such a scenario, that kind of a company, an initial investment on buy side upstream channel e-commerce and value chain management may be more appropriate. So if there's, for example, a company that is not that well established in the worldwide market, but has some sort of presence there, but also they don't have a, let's say, some sort of presence in an online environment, right? And also they are not in a position, or they don't have the resource and competency base to offer products to new geographical markets. Then rather than focusing on sell side, that kind of an organization, it's better to focus more on the upstream supply chain, or the buy side, how to make the upstream more effective and efficient, how to efficiently and effectively interact with your suppliers, trading partners in the upstream supply chain, right? In sourcing, in procuring raw materials, what are the efficiencies we can bring about, how to streamline the upstream supply chain, right? Those kinds of things are what that kind of an organization would have to focus on. So what does that explain? මොකක්ද එකෙන් පැහැදිලි වෙන්නේ? Organization එකකින් organization එකට ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ nature එක මත තමන් prioritize කරන්න ඕනේ වෙන objectives වෙනස් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Right? Sorry. Then the next point says sell-side e-commerce involves both bricks and clicks transactions. Then sell-side e-commerce එක ගත්තොත් bricks and clicks transactions කියලා වර්ග දෙකක් තියෙනවා. So what are these bricks and clicks? Let's have a look at what bricks and clicks mean. The general options for the mix of bricks and clicks are shown in figure 5.19. In this figure, there is this a mix of bricks and clicks shown here. This summarizes the organization's commitment to e-commerce and its implication for traditional channels. So through this figure, what are we trying to summarize? An organization's commitment to e-commerce. How committed is an organization to e-commerce? Or how, how important is e-commerce to an organization? Or what kind of dedication do they show in terms of this e-commerce? Improving e-commerce or adopting e-commerce channels? What kind of dedication does a business have? So this figure summarizes that. And also its implication for traditional channels, right? How these can be impacting on that particular business organizations traditionally used channels, right? So this figure 5.19, strategic options for a company in relation to the importance of the internet as a channel, right? ඉන්ටර්නෙට් එක එහෙම නැත්නම් අන්තර්ජාලය channel එකක් විදිහට එක මාධ්‍යයක් විදිහට භාවිතා කරන අවස්ථාවක මේ විවිධ strategic options මොනවාද company එකකට තියෙන්න පුළුවන් කියන දේ පිළිබඳව තමයි අවබෝධයක් ලබා දෙන්න උත්සාහ කරලා තියෙන්නේ මේ diagram එක හරහා. Right? So take a few moments to study what the figure talks about. Yes. What does it entail? There are two axes, X and Y. On the X axis, online revenue contribution. Business එකේ online revenue contribution එක මොන වගේද කියලා පෙන්නලා තියෙනවා. There's a continuum ranging from low to high. Is the online revenue contribution low? Is it medium or is it high? Then on the Y axis we have the change required. දැන් අපි define කරන්නනේ යන්නේ මේ company එකකට strategy එක. එතකොට මේ ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ behavior එක මත මේ axis එකේ යාලගේ behavior එක මත එයාලට අවශ්‍ය වෙන strategic change එකේ scale එක මොන වගේද? Limited change එකක්ද අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ? Is it a limited change they require or is it radical change? What do you mean by radical change? A huge change, right? A big change. a breakthrough change? Is it a limited or radical, the degree of change that is required by your company? Right. Now, in terms of, for example, online revenue contribution and change, let's take the scenario 1, bricks and mortar. What do you mean by bricks and mortar? In bricks and mortar organizations, that means they are purely physically based businesses, right? Physically based businesses, they have physical buildings, they have their warehouses, their outlet stores and all that. So physically customers would visit them and buy, right? So in that kind of an organization, there might be some degree of digitalization present, where you only have set up some sort of a platform for customers to gain information about your products, right? අපි මේ වගේ basic level එකක organization එකක් තියෙනවා කියලා හිතමු customers ලට මොකක් හරි පොඩි site එකක් application එකක් හරහා තමන්ගේ company එකේ තමන්ගේ ව්‍යාපාරයේ තියෙන products and services මොනවද කියන එක පිළිබඳ information විතරක් දෙනවා කියලා අපි හිතමු, just for the purpose of providing information, right? Availability of products, product ranges maybe, right? Then different features and those kinds of things. It's just purely for providing information, but you cannot transact with those businesses online, right? So that kind of an organization you call a bricks and mortar model. So see, the online revenue contribution is very low, and the change required is very limited. But let's go towards somewhere here, option 2, where it's a bricks and clicks model. Bricks and clicks කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? Mix of on and offline transactions and customer service. So in this kind of an organization, you can see the online revenue contribution is relatively higher. And also therefore the change required is also relatively higher than scenario 1. Now these bricks and clicks businesses are also referred to as sometimes clicks and bricks or even clicks and mortar. Clicks and mortar කියලාත් මේවා හඳුන්වනවා, clicks and bricks කියලාත් හඳුන්වනවා, bricks and clicks කියලාත් හඳුන්වනවා. මේ කොයි term එක පාවිච්චි කරලා define කරාත්, what you have to understand is that they have a mix of online and offline transaction modes. Examples, there are many examples you can think of, right? There are physical outlet as well, and also there's online transaction facilitation. Most of the supermarkets that you can see operate in this model. It's a mix of online and offline transactions and customer service, right? There are many business models that you can think of based on bricks and clicks. Now, in these stages, the digital channels are complementary to the traditional channels. You can have traditional channels එක complementary විදියට. ඒ කියන්නේ traditional channels එක digital channels භාවිතා කිරීමක් තමයි මේ stages වලදී අපි බහුලව දකින්නේ. But when you go up, right, when you transcend higher along the continuum, for instance, see scenario 3, clicks only, right? So this kind of organizations, all transactions and customer services happen online, right? හැම විදියකින්ම customers ලත් එක්ක සිද්ධ වෙන transactions, customer services online virtually තමයි සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ. So you can see when you move to this level, digital channels replace your traditional channels, right? See, there's a very high revenue contribution virtually, and also radical changes required for a business. What kind of examples can you think of for a click-based organization like this? All transactions and customer service happening online. Yeah? Like what? Any idea? No idea. Now, what about a business like eBay? Yeah. So transactions basically happen online, right? And customer service fully happens online. So that kind of an organization where they are purely based on clicks. So for instance, there can be other transaction sites, right? Content providing sites, there are content providers might be there, transaction related sites might be there, then certain e-commerce sites, right? E-commerce sites, and also internet service providers, different kinds of. So these kinds of organizations we identify under this click model. But now let's move forward, then you'll understand. Although being internet only is impractical for many businesses, it's true, right? Is it practical for a business to fully only be on internet based? Oh, there will have to be some sort of physical presence. There have to be some sort of traditional interactions happening, right? Traditional interactions යම් කිසි degree එකකට තියනවා වෙන්න පුළුවන්, right? So therefore that's why we say it's being internet only is impractical for many businesses. බහුල වශයෙන්ම අපි දකින්නේ මික්ස් එකක් විදිහට මේ online offline mode එක පවත්තන් යනවා තමයි. Companies are moving along the curve in this direction. But companies are increasingly showing a tendency where they try to increase their online revenue generation and also online presence. In the UK, the Automobile Association and British Airways have closed the majority of their retail outlets. Now, in the United Kingdom, this Automobile Association and the British Airways, I hope you have heard these terms, right? So very popular organizations. They have closed most of their physical retail outlets. Why? Since orders are predominantly placed via the internet or by phone. That's true, right? Mostly it's very rare that a customer will physically visit these outlets and buy a ticket or book some sort of a transaction. They mostly happen via online. So therefore that's why these organizations have closed majority of their retail outlets. But both of these companies still make extensive use of the phone channel, since its interactivity is needed for many situations. However, still, although they are closing down retail stores, although they are having a strong online presence, still these phone-based channels, certain traditional channels, they have not given up on. ඒ වගේ channels ඒගොල්ලන් give up කළා නැහැ. Phone-based channels වගේ දේවල්. ඇයි? Now, these may be very useful for an organization to specially interact with customers, right? For providing customer support, those kinds of things, you may need still phone-based interactions, right? And also maybe within different business partners, right? Essentially, they have followed a bricks and clicks approach. Indeed, most businesses require some human element of service. That's true, right? So you cannot fully always be 100% online without any sort of traditional involvement, because any business, most businesses need some sort of human related service as well. So therefore, even in these kinds of organization, you observe a bricks and clicks kind of model, right? The transition to a service that is clicks only is unlikely for majority of companies. That we understood, right? It's very unpractical for most of the companies to be only based on a clicks only model. The second point, where a retailer is selling a product such as mobile phone or electronic equipment, many consumers naturally want to compare the physical attributes of products or gain advice from the salesperson. So why is it impractical to fully go online? One reason is given in the next point. ඇයි අපිට 100% clicks only business එකක් වෙන්න බැරි? ගොඩක් අවස්ථාවන් වලදී ඒකට එක හේතුවක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. උදාහරණයකට මෙතන කියලා තියෙනවා මොබයිල් ෆෝන් එකක් එහෙම නැත්නම් ඉලෙක්ට්‍රොනික ඉක්විප්මන්ට් එකක් වගේ දෙයක් විකුණනකොට. ඒ විතරක් නෙමෙයි ඕනම දෙයක් විකුණනකොටනේ. so ගොඩක් අය prefer කරන්නේ ඕනම customer කෙනෙක් වැඩි වශයෙන් prefer කරන්නේ physically ඒ product එක බලලා test කරනවා වෙන්න පුළුවන්, එයා ඒක බලනවා වෙන්න පුළුවන්, compare කරලා බලලා physical attributes compare කරලා බලලා purchase කරන්න තමයි කැමති. Many customers like to physically see the product, right? To touch it, to feel it and to compare it, and then based on that to make the purchase decision, right? So therefore essentially there has to be some sort of human intervention where customers are facilitated to do this. That is why being purely 100% clicks only is sometimes, not sometimes, is most of the time not practical. Then the last point, even.com such as lastminute.com. What is lastminute.com? It is now if you can Google and see, it's actually a site related to this bookings related to travel and leisure purpose, things like that, right? So lastminute.com, even they have set up a call center and experimented with a physical presence in airports and train stations. දැන් මේ lastminute.com වගේම destination booking, travel planning ඔය වගේ දේවල් වලට ගොඩක් වෙලාවට online නේ ගනුදෙනු කරන්නේ customers ලා. ඉතින් ඒ වගේ businesses උනත් ඒගොල්ලන්ට physical call centers තියෙනවලු, physical outlets airports වගේ තැන්වල යලා හදලා තියෙනවා. Why? Since this helps them to reach a key audience and has benefits of promoting the brand. Why do they have a physical presence? Because that helps them to interact with a key customer audience that is reaching the airport and key places like that, geographical places like that, and also they have the benefit in being visible in a physical environment. By being visible, they can promote their brand, right? So due to those reasons, even these kinds of organizations, they say, are having a physical presence to some degree, right? Then the last thing we are going to discuss today, the decision number 2, market and product development strategies. Now first, under strategy definition, we talked about e-business channel priorities or digital business channel priorities. And now we are talking about market and product development strategies. Then අපි strategies define කරනකොට organization එකක් මුලින්ම අපි කිව්වා අවධානය යොමු කරන්න ඕනේ මොන විදිය channels හරහාද අපි මේ strategy එක implement කරන්නේ. Customers ලාට අපි reach කරන්නේ, භාණ්ඩ හා සේවා විකුණන්නේ, customer service provide කරන්නේ මොන වගේ channel chains හරහාද? ඒ සඳහා යාලට හොඳ අවබෝධයක් අවශ්‍ය වෙනවා. අර අපි කලින් කතා කරපු digital channels සම්බන්ධයෙන් ව්‍යාපාරයේ සතු. කොයි ඩිග්‍රී එකකටද අපි physically reach කරන්න ඕනේ, කොයි ඩිග්‍රී එකකටද අපි virtually reach කරන්න ඕනේ. අපි channel priorities අඳුන ගන්න ඕනේ. වැඩිපුර අපි කොයි විදියටද reach කරන්නේ, මොන වගේ composition එකක්ද traditional online sales channels අතර තියෙන්න ඕනේ. Right? That is one key decision when defining the strategy. The second is market and product development strategies. That means deciding on which markets to target through digital channels to generate value is key strategic consideration. අපි මොන markets ද target කළ යුත්තේ මේ අපි අඳුනගත්ත digital channels හරහා. Right? Now, the market might be very wide in scope and very diverse with different customer segments, different target markets for you. But you as a business have to be able to decide which markets are you going to target, because you cannot definitely cater to the mass market, right? But mass market එකට cater කරන්න බෑනේ. Entire market එකට cater කරන්න බෑ. අපේ business එකේ value proposition එකට, අපි විකුණන භාණ්ඩ හා සේවා වලට අනුව, අපේ business model එකට අනුව, අපි achieve කරගන්න ඕන objectives වලට අනුව depend වෙනවා අපි මොන market එකට target කළ යුතුද කියන එක. It depends on a number of factors such as what our objectives are, what we are trying to achieve, what our nature of the product and service is, the value proposition that we offer based on all this. So, Therefore, you have to decide which markets to target. Then managers of digital business strategy have to decide whether to use new technologies to change the scope of their business to address new markets and new products. So at this stage, managers who are coming up with digital business strategies, right? Managers who are dealing with these things, they have to decide whether to use new technologies to change the scope of their business. Now, at this stage, a key decision for managers is to think whether they have to employ certain new technologies that are there in the environment in order to change the way their business operates. Right? දැන් අපි market එකක් identify කරාට පස්සේ managers ලා අඳුන ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒ සඳහා ඒගොල්ලන්ට reach කිරීම සඳහා අපි දැනට අපේ business environment එකේ තියෙන මොනවාලි අලුත් technologies incorporate කරලා අපි business එක operate වෙන විදිහ යම් විදියකින් වෙනස් කළ යුතුද අපි මේ අඳුනාගත්ත අලුත් market එක එහෙම නැත්නම් අපි මේ offer කරන්න යන අලුත් products offer කරන්න කියලා. Right now, for example, let's think a bank. They are going to come up with a new strategy to offer to reach out to a new customer segment. Let's say they are targeting the female market. Right? The female market එක target කරනවා කියලා decide කරා යම් කිසි bank එකක් විසින්. එතකොට එයා decide කරන ඕනේ bank managers ලා මේක decide කරන අය මේ සඳහා අපි අලුත් technologies පාවිච්චි කරන්න ඕනේද? දැනට මොනවද තියෙන latest technologies මේ audience එකට අපිට cater කරන්න පුළුවන්. Is it a web-based platform? Is it a mobile-based platform? Should we reach out to them via social media? Should we reach out to them via mobile app? What are the approaches we have? What are the technologies we can use to approach this female market segment? And also, should there be any changes in the scope of our business? What is the product we are going to offer to this market? Is it a savings account? Is it some other facility? We have to decide, right? As for the decision one, right? It is a balance between fear of do nothing option and fear of poor return on investment for strategies that fail, right? So when considering this decision one, right, that decision should be about what is the right balance between are we going to do nothing or are we going to just stay in the current status as it is, or are we going to take the risk? Sometimes there might be failures, but are we going to anyway take some sort of initiative, take some sort of step to go to a new market, right? To go to a new strategy based on that. So there should be a balance. Where are we going to position ourselves as an organization? Then the model of Ansoff 1957 is still useful as a means for marketing managers to discuss market and product development using electronic technologies. Now this Ansoff model, once again, you may have heard and used in some of your studies, right? So it is equally important for marketing related managers who are, catering to electronic technologies or who are using electronic technologies to decide on this market and product development strategy, right? So the market and product development matrix given in figure 5.2 can help identify strategies to grow sales volume through varying what is sold, right? So the market and product development matrix by Ansoff can help a business to identify what are the strategies they have to follow in order to grow their or to improve their organization's sales volume by changing what they already sell. That means maybe by changing what they sell, that is in terms of products, or by changing who it is sold to. That is the market dimension of the matrix. That means දැන් මේ කියන Ansoff ගේ product market matrix එකෙන් පෙන්නන්නේ අපිට කොහොමද අපේ sales volume එක වැඩි කර ගැනීම සඳහා මොන වගේ strategies ද අපේ ආයතනය විසින් අනුගමනය කළ හැක්කේ ඒක තීරණය කිරීම සඳහා options දෙකක් දෙනවා මේ matrix එක හරහා එකක් මේ sales volume එක වැඩි කිරීම සඳහා අපිට පුළුවන් අපේ offer කරන product dimension එක වෙනස් කරන්න right අපි products වෙනස් කිරීම හරහා හෝ අපි මේ products හරහා reach කරන market එක වෙනස් කිරීම හරහා මේ කියන ක්‍රම දෙක හරහා මේකේ යම් කිසි mix එකක් හරහා කොහොමද අපි organization එකක් විදියට sales volume එක වැඩි කරගන්නේ ඒක තමයි ANSOF matrix එකෙන් අපිට explain කරන්න උත්සාහ කරන්නේ specific objectives need to be set for sales generated via these strategies. දැන් මේ කියන product market matrix එක හරහා අපි generate කරන strategies වලට right ඒවට නිශ්චිත objectives තියෙන්න ඕනේ. So this decision relates closely to that of objective setting. Therefore, now when you come up with a new strategy definition to reach out to a maybe new market or new product, a mix of these two, you have to have in place objectives that are very specific to these new markets and new products, right? Or maybe existing markets and existing products in a different combination, right? So therefore, that topic that we have been discussing, right? Strategic objectives directly relates to this stage, right? So on the next day, we will talk about this matrix and how it can be helpful for organizations in come up with useful strategies, right? So with that, we hope to wind up the class for today. Any questions so far? Right. So if there are no questions, we can wind up the class for today. Thank you everyone and stay safe.